Dear students, viewers, subscribers, welcome to the IAS Mentor. This would be our lecture number 118 in the series Indian Polity. We are almost coming to the close of this particular series, where we have taken small baby steps, try to cover each and every topic. We have covered almost the relevant portions for the UPSC. And one suggestion from my side is for any student who is watching this particular series, for the maximum benefit, if you are planning to prepare for civil service or any other competitive examination, watch this particular series in a chronological order, so that there's a lot of chaining process that has happened in the entire way the series has been constructed. Watching a previous lecture might be crucial in understanding the other concepts. So if you watch it in a chronological order for the maximum benefit. And one more thing that I wanted to say before I get into today's topic. In fact, today I don't want to discuss any topic, but I'm going to do certain practice question from the topic of statutory bodies and the executive bodies. But before I get into that, for the benefit of the students appearing for the prelims 2025, in addition to this Indian Polity Series, I'm also doing a series on current affairs on the subject Indian Polity. I am focusing on the most relevant current affairs for the prelims 2025. So this is just to increase the chances that the students can get more marks in the prelims examination. So if you have the time, please watch that, and it is going to be extremely useful for the students who are watching that particular series as well. If you know someone who is appearing for the prelims, you can also recommend this, because it is definitely going to help the students who may watch that particular video. All right. So with that, I'll directly get into the practice question is what we are going to see. And very simple questions come. Normally the questions come from the composition or the functions of these commissions, your basic understanding of whether it is a constitutional body, statutory body, or an executive body. It is only from these areas the questions are likely to come. All right. So please come to the first question. Which one of the following is not a statutory body? So you'll have to identify which is not a statutory body. So first we'll have to understand as to what is a statutory body, and here not a statutory body. A statutory body is something which is established by a way of a law. It can be a law passed by the parliament or by the state legislature, it does not matter, but it has to be established by way of a law, then it becomes a statutory body. Now, what is a constitutional body? Something established by way of a constitution, then it becomes a constitutional body. So here the question is, which of the following is not a statutory body? What about National Commission for Women? National Commission for Women is established based on the National Commission for Women's Act. So therefore, there is an act based on which it is established. National Commission for Protection of Child Rights is also not an answer, because it is based on the Protection of Child Rights Act. So that is also not the right answer. National Commission for Minorities, National Minorities Act. So this is also not the right answer. Central Bureau of Investigation is the right answer. In fact, CBI was established in 1963. When it was established in 1963, it was based on the resolution that was passed by the Home Ministry. So therefore, it is definitely a non-statutory body, that it is an executive body. So I said that when it was established, it was under the administrative control of Home Ministry. So presently it is under the administrative control of which ministry? I've already discussed that. If you know the answer, please put it in the comment box. So please come to question number 2. Which one of the following is not an executive body? In fact, UPSC asks one simple question like this most of the years. So just by knowing whether it is a constitutional body, statutory body, or an executive body, you may be in a position to answer a question. So which of the following is not an executive body? That means which of the following is not established by an executive order? Central Bureau of Investigation is a executive body. NITI Aayog is an executive body. All right. So this also we have discussed. But NITI Aayog was established in 2015 after a particular body was done away with. So which body was abolished, and then when NITI Aayog was created? Abolishing which body NITI Aayog was created? If you know the answer, please put that in the comment box as well. The Law Commission of India, so this is also an executive body. It is established by an executive order. So which of the following is not an executive body? So all these things are wrong, because all the three things are an executive body. But Lokpal is not an executive body. Lokpal is a statutory body, which is established based on the Lokpal and the Lok Ayukt Act 2013. So again, if you look into Lokpal today is the highest anti-corruption body in our country. The Lokpal has jurisdiction over all the ministers, union ministers, including the Prime Minister. It has jurisdiction over all the members of parliament, all the government servants, Group A, Group B, Group C, Group D. Everything is within the jurisdiction of the Lokpal. And there are certain exemptions to the Prime Minister, but otherwise he is also covered. So the Lokpal, it took a long time. From 1968, they started introducing the bill, but only in 2013 it became reality. Almost, I think, 45 years of struggle before this anti-corruption body was brought in. But even today, the criticism about Lokpal is, are they really functional in nature? So that, to that extent, there are some criticism that surrounds what is called as the Lokpal in our country. Alright, so please come to question number 3. Consider the following statements regarding the National Human Rights Commission. So this question is related to National Human Rights Commission, which is also what? Which is also a statutory body under the constitution, under the law, because the National Human Rights Commission is established based on the Human Rights Act. Statement 1. Its chairman must be a retired Chief Justice of India or a retired judge of a Supreme Court. In fact, when the Human Rights Act was passed initially, the only person who could be appointed as a chairman of the National Human Rights Commission is only a retired Chief Justice of India. But however, subsequently this was amended, paving way for not only the retired Chief Justice of India, but any retired judge of a Supreme Court. So therefore, this particular statement is true. Its powers are only recommendatory in nature. The primary function of the National Human Rights Commission is to investigate the cases where there are violation of human rights, especially where the government servants have done some excess that has resulted in the violation of the rights of the people. So in these areas, the Human Rights Commission can inquire, investigate, but all their recommendations that they do, they're not binding upon the government. So therefore, it is majorly recommendatory in nature. In fact, it is one of the basic criticism also with regard to the functioning of this body. It is mandatory to appoint a women member, women as a member of the commission. So as per the law, yes, one member should be a women member. It is mandatory, which is given in the law. So therefore, which of the above statement is or correct? So the correct answer is all the three. That is statement 1, statement 2, statement 3 also. So what is the answer? The right answer is option A. A is the right answer. Please come to the next question. Which of the following is not a constitutional body? So you should be aware of what is a constitutional body, what is a statutory body, what is an executive body. In fact, I think this is an UPSC question itself. So very simple questions are asked. See here. National Commission for Scheduled Caste. Today, yes, it's a constitutional body established under Article 338. National Commission for Scheduled Tribe. Yes, it has also been given a constitutional status by virtue of Article 338A. So this is also a constitutional body. So here the question is not a constitutional body. So therefore, we will strike down both 1 and 2. National Commission for Backward Classes. This is also today a constitutional body established under Article 338B. Can you tell me which constitutional amendment has brought in Article 338B, by virtue of which the constitutional status has been given to the National Commission for Backward Classes? I have discussed about this also. If you know the answer, please, you can put it in the comment box. National Commission for Minorities. The National Commission for Minorities is not a constitutional body. Rather, it is a statutory body. So when I say which is not a constitutional body, it can be either a statutory body or it can either be a body established by way of an executive order. Both the things can be part of it. So this is true. National Commission for Women. So National Commission for Women is also a statutory body. It is also established by way of the law that is passed by the Parliament. Choose the correct answer from the codes given below. So what are the answer? It should be only 4 and 5 only. Therefore, the answer is option D. Come to question number 5. Consider the following statements. Well, the National Investigation Agency. So what is the status of NIA? NIA is a statutory body established under the National Investigation Agency Act. Well, the National Investigation Agency has jurisdiction over the entire country, whereas the Central Bureau of Investigation cannot investigate into cases in states without the consent of the states. So this is true. While the law enables the NIA to investigate anywhere within the territory of India, including the states, without the permission of the states, in cases related to terrorism and other areas as well. But whereas the Central Bureau of Investigation has jurisdiction only in the National Capital Territory of Delhi, and if they have to go outside and inquire, they have to take the permission of the states. And that is the reason the states give what is called as general consent. And this general consent is the consent given to CBI for a period of 6 months. And for 6 months, they don't have to take any permission. But however, today a number of states are taking away this general consent, and therefore the CBI has to take consent on case-to-case basis. So this is what you'll have to remember. In fact, this word general consent was many times used in the newspaper also. So probably it can be asked in the prelims exam also. General consent is related to what? It is related to CBI taking permission from the states. This is true. While the National Investigation Agency is a statutory body, the Central Bureau of Investigation is only a body established by an executive order. This is also true. Which of the statements given above are incorrect? Incorrect means that it is D, that is neither 1 nor 2, because both the statements are correct statements. Please come to question number 6. Consider the following statements regarding the Bar Council of India. What is the status of Bar Council of India in our country? Bar Council of India is a statutory body established under the Advocates Act. So based on this Advocates Act, the Bar Council of India is established. It has 2 important functions. In fact, lot of functions, but 2 are primary function. One is it regulates the legal profession in our country as to who can practice as advocates, what are the rules that they have to follow to practice as an advocate. And they also try to regulate the legal education and their standards in our country. So both are the important functions that is done by the Bar Council of India. So with that, please come here. The Bar Council of India is a body established by an executive resolution that regulates the legal profession in our country. No, it is not an executive body, rather it is a body established by a way of a law. Statement 2. Recently, the Bar Council of India has framed rules that enables foreign lawyers and law firms to practice in India. So recently, the Bar Council of India has framed these rules under the Advocates Act, allowing the foreign lawyers and the law firms to regulate in India, to practice in India. So thereby they are liberalizing as to who can practice law in our country. So this particular statement is true. So which of the statements given above are correct? While 1 is wrong, 2 is correct. So therefore the answer is what? It is option B only. That is 2 only is the answer. Please come to the next question, question number 7. Which of the following are true regarding the Human Rights Commission in our body? So is it a statutory body? Yes, Human Rights Commission is definitely a statutory body. The commission has the powers of a civil court in summoning individuals and taking evidence of oath. Yes. Not only the Human Rights Commission, in fact the National Commission for Minorities, the National Commission for Women, National Commission for Protection of Child Rights, Lokpal. So all these do have the powers of a civil court. Alright. The recommendations are binding on the government. Most of the commission's recommendations are not binding on the government. In fact, this is one of the major criticism. So therefore, this particular statement would be wrong. So which of the statements given above are correct? So the correct statement would be what? It is 1 and 2 only. I am sure that whatever you have discussed is till this point of time, you do not have any doubt. So let us move forward to question number 8. Consider the following statements regarding the National Commission for Protection of, sorry, it is not civil rights, so a small correction, National Commission for Protection of Child Rights. Okay, so this is the question. So the National Commission for Protection of Child Rights is a statutory body. And what is the primary objective of this National Commission for Protection of Child Rights? The primary objective of this particular body is to protect the constitutional and the legal rights of the children, be it right to education, be it right to be prevented against child labor, be it prevention against the sexual abuses of the children or subject to trafficking and all those things. These are all the set of constitutional and legal rights available to the children. So the major function of the National Commission for Protecting the Child Rights is that they will undertake and see if there is any violation of these rights. If there is a violation of these rights, they can take up cases and they can start investigating and they can recommend measures to the government. They can bring in policies to help protect the rights of the children. They can spread awareness about the rights of the children. So these are all the major areas of the functions of the National Commission for Protection of Child Rights. So with that you come here. Their main function is to protect the constitutional and the legal rights of the children. So this is true. They provide free education to the children belonging to the weaker sections in line with the Right to Education Act. While they will see whether the Right to Education Act is getting implemented properly or not, but it is not the responsibility of, or it is not the function of the National Commission for Protection of Child Rights to provide education themselves. So they are not supposed to provide such functions under the law. So therefore, which of the statements given above are incorrect? 1 is correct, 2 is incorrect. So what is the answer? The answer would be option B only, that is 2 only is the, sorry, the option 2 only, that is B is the answer. Please come to question number 9. In which of the following cases the CBI has got jurisdiction? First of all, CBI is what? It is an executive body, initially established under the Home Ministry, presently under the Ministry of Personnel and Training. And what is the role of the CBI? So today CBI has a wider jurisdiction. The CBI has jurisdiction with regard to certain criminal cases, cases referred by the Supreme Court and the High Court. They have jurisdiction over cases related to the Prevention of Corruption Act. They have jurisdiction over cases related to national security. They have jurisdiction over cases related to serious economic offenders in our country, or economic offences in our country. So these are all the broader jurisdiction of CBI today. Cases referred to the CBI by the High Court and the Supreme Court. So here it is no jurisdiction, so therefore it is wrong because there is a jurisdiction. Cases related to national security, they have jurisdiction. Certain economic offences also they have jurisdiction. So therefore the right answer in this particular case would be none of the above. So option D is the right answer. Alright. So please come to the next question, which is related to Lokpal. Who among the following are covered under the jurisdiction of the Lokpal? In fact, Lokpal is the highest anti-corruption body in our country. And the basic differences between Lokpal and the CVC in our country is, while the CVC has a very limited jurisdiction, it has got jurisdiction when it comes to matters related to corruption only against the Group A officers of the government and the All India Service officers. And officers of certain rank in RBI, certain rank in PSU, certain ranks in the public sector banks, but not against each and every employee. And if you see CVC is not only to investigate in matters of corruption, but they also have a preventive role to prevent corruption in the first place. But whereas there is no preventive role to the Lokpal, but Lokpal has a wider jurisdiction when it comes to matters related to corruption. In fact, all the government officials at the central government level, all the ministers, including the prime ministers, all the members of parliament are all covered within the jurisdiction of the Lokpal. There are some exception to the prime minister, but he is not completely exempted. Okay. So who among the following are covered under the jurisdiction of Lokpal? Prime Minister is there. Members of the parliament is there. Group A, B, C, D officials of the central government, that is also true. Choose the correct answer. So the answer is all of the above, that is 1, 2 and 3. All the 3 categories of people are covered, although there is an exemption in certain areas to the Prime Minister of India. So please come to the next question, that is question number 11. Consider the following statements. NITI Aayog is an executive body. NITI Aayog is definitely an executive body established after abolishing the erstwhile Planning Commission of India. The basic reason as to why the NITI Aayog was established after scrapping the Planning Commission, because the criticism against the Planning Commission, it is too centralized. There is a top-down approach. It does not pave way for what is called as cooperative federalism. So therefore abolished, a think tank was created to give policy decisions and to overview the implementation of those policies, and also to ensure the idea of what is called as cooperative federalism and competitive federalism. NITI Aayog was created. So NITI Aayog is today definitely an executive body. One of the important objective of the NITI Aayog is to promote cooperative federalism. Yes, not only cooperative federalism, all the other heads that I have discussed also is their objective. So which of the statements given above are correct? So the correct answer is both 1 and 2 only. So I am sure that through the questions, and if you watch the questions and before watching the questions, it is better you revise the respective topic, then you do the questions. Even after that, if you are getting the mistake, that is not an issue, because making mistakes is a way that you can learn better. But however, please revise and then do, then it will be very fruitful. Okay. So come to the last question for the lecture. Consider the following statements. The National Commission for Women is a constitutional body. Is it a constitutional body? No. The National Commission for Women is perfectly a statutory body. The very objective of establishing National Commission for Women is to protect the constitutional as well as the legal rights of women. Constitutional rights, say for example, right to equality, no discrimination on the grounds of sex. Lot of legal rights like the Dowry Act, Domestic Violence Act, sexual harassment. So all these are to be protected, and there's a body to take up complaints against all these areas, that is the National Commission for Women. So that's the primary role. The National Commission for Minorities is established under Article 30 of the Constitution. If it is established under Article 30 of the Constitution, then it becomes a constitutional body. Yes, Article 30 of the Constitution allows for protection of the rights of minorities, religious as well as linguistic minorities. But it has nothing to do with what is called as a National Commission for Minorities, because the National Commission for Minorities is established based on the National Minorities Act. So therefore, the National Commission for Minorities is purely a statutory body and not a constitutional body. So therefore, this is wrong. Which of the statements given above are correct? So the right answer is neither one nor two. So both the statements are incorrect. So by this, we are trying to cover the entire statutory bodies and the executive bodies. And for the constitutional bodies, I already discussed a set of questions. If you see, roughly 25 questions has been discussed from these areas of constitutional bodies, statutory bodies, and executive bodies. If you watch the lecture and if you solve these questions, this itself is more or less sufficient for this particular topic when you appear for the examination. Although you will have to keep updating with certain current affairs. I'm not saying that you should stop here, but it should be a good starting point if you watch this particular lecture. Alright, so with that, I think we are coming to the end of this particular lecture. So if you watch this lecture, I am again repeating it, watch it from the very beginning, so you get the maximum benefit out of this particular series. So with that, I'll wind up my lecture here. If you like this series, please share it with your friends and family members. And I'm very sure in the coming years, it is going to benefit lakhs and lakhs of students in our country. And I am very much confident of this particular thing. Thank you very much and all the very best.